Hi there, in this series of videos I'm making a version of Midway Games Boot Hill which is going to feature tanks instead of the original cowboys. In the first few videos I'm going to deal with setting up the game as a local couch multiplayer, and then in later videos we're going to allow the game to be played over the local network by using UDP, so that's kind of exciting. And in this video I'm going to let the bullets fly. So I have a bullet here and I'm going to put this here. This is the blue bullet, and then I've got this kind of another sort of flavor of tank bullet. These are both going to be one again, and I'm going to have no ones there. So this blue bullet is going to fire in that direction, and the silver chrome-ish gold bullet is going to fire that direction. So if I drag this one on here, first of all you can see the size of it there, which is a good size. Obviously this is at 0, 0, so I'm going to create another bullet object. So it's going to be left player left tank bullet. Because this is, oh sorry, I'm going to reset this. Reset position, and I'm going to drag that into there, and I'm going to call that left bullet sprite. And it's going to fire from this point here. Now I need to know what that point is. So if I go into the scene, I'm going to create a spawn point here that's going to fire the bullet. So if I go into left tank, I'm going to do create empty, and that's going to create an empty sprite down here. I don't think you can see it that well, but if I move the sprite over to about here-ish, what is that, 100? That'd be 100, roughly there. And then the Y, I'm going to move it to about here, which is about 42. It doesn't have to be super accurate, but that's going to be the spawn point. So our spawn point for the bullet is in here, so bullet spawn is going to be there. I'm going to do the exact same thing on the right hand side tank. So I'm going to do create empty, and I'm going to call that bullet spawn. I probably should have made this a prefab, but wherever we are. And then I'm going to create this here. I'm going to copy that component there, and in the bullet spawn I'm going to paste those component values. So if I go over to here, you see that it's not quite right because it's actually behind the bullet. So I'm going to change that to minus, and then it's going to be in the correct orientation. So I'm going to save that now. And then we need to spawn that bullet there. So here's our left tank bullet. So for our player controller, we're going to have a public game object bullet prefab public float bullet direction. And the bullet direction is going to be 1 or -1 because we're going to be facing either that way or that way. And on fire, we've got that there. I'm going to have a public float bullet cooldown period equals, and then it's going to be, let's call it, let's say you can only fire every 1 second. And public, private bool is cooling down. So it's not currently cooling down. So I want to say if it's greater than 0 and it's not cooling down, then we want to fire. So to do fire. Actually, it's going to be start coroutine fire bullet. And then we're going to have enumerator fire bullet. I'm just going to return null just now. So we're going to fire the bullet, and then we're going to yield return wait for seconds. But first we need to do is cooling down equals true. So we can't fire anything just now. And then we do yield return new wait for seconds, cooldown. And that's that. We can get rid of that there. So that's gonna be that's our first line, and that's our last line. Actually, our last line is cooling down equals false, because we're not cooling down after we've cooled down. So just to reiterate here, we're going to be checking to see if the fire button was pressed. If it was pressed and we're not cooling down, so we're not in the cooldown period, we're going to fire the bullet. And then we're going to fire the bullet we're going to say, one second. We also need public transform bullet spawn point. We need it to be there. We're going to say var bullet equals instantiate bullet prefab. And then we can also tell it the position, which is going to be spawn point transform. And we need to specify the quaternion, which is quaternion dot identity. Oh yeah. So let me just put this all on multiple lines, and it'll make it a little bit easier for you to see what's going on there. So we're instantiating this copy here, and then we're going to fire it off into the nether regions. We don't have that code yet, so we're going to, so this is player controllers, and let's call this create folder, bullet controller. I mean, we only really have one bullet controller, but I mean, we could have projectile controller. So we'll call this simple bullet controller. And then we'll have, get rid of that there. Enumerator start. And then float time to live equals 2 seconds. So after 2 seconds, it's gonna kill itself. And then we'll say while time to live is greater than 0, destroy game object. TTL plus equals time dot delta time. Oops, should be negative delta time because we're subtracting that. Yield return null. So every frame, every tick, we're going to be decrementing this. But we also want to add to the position. So it's going to be the same speed. Actually, it's going to be a little bit faster than the player. So the reason why we want it to be faster than the player is we don't want the player to catch up with the bullet or run alongside it. It's got to be just a little bit faster than the player. So 420 is probably about right. And then we got public float direction, and that's going to be 1. So we're going to say transform.position plus equals, and then it's going to be vector 3 dot right, because we're heading right that way, times direction times 420 times time dot delta time. That's a lot of multiplications in there. All right, so what's happening here? So we're taking the transform position, we're going to the right, and the right is positive in our world. or at least for bullets, it's positive because we're doing the left player first. So we're going to multiply it by the direction. So if it's -1, then that means we're heading that way, which is left technically. We're going to multiply it by 420, and then we're going to multiply it by time delta time. We are not checking any collisions just now. We're not doing any of that. We're just doing we're just doing bullet movement. So now that we have the bullet movement, do we need to have that there? Probably not. Oh, we do need to have that there because we need to do var control equals bullet dot get component bullet controller direction equals direction. We need to specify the direction. And we can get rid of that start because we don't need that. And we don't need update because we know what update does. I think that's everything. Okay, I think that's okay. So for our left tank, we now have these values here. So we get bullet spawn point. We get bullet spawn point, which is going to be our bullet spawn for the left tank. Yeah, here's our left tank. So there's our bullet spawn is there. Our bullet prefab is our left tank bullet, which is this one here. And then the direction is to the right. So it's positive to the right. Okay. So if I fire, what is that then? Oh, there you go. Null reference. Where's the null reference? Oh, I know why. So for our left tank bullet, we need to add a controller. Simple bullet controller. Oops. Simple bullet controller. Left tank. Simple bullet controller. Okay. So we run this. All right, we need to get rid of that. We've just killed that. Yeah. So you probably saw what happened there. So if you watch this side here, after 2 seconds, that disappears, which is a problem because if we watch what happens here, you see we've got a left tank bullet here, and then missing game object happens. So we've got to stop it from doing that. So the way we do that is we go to left tank bullet, and then there's a little checkbox here. Just uncheck it. And then inside here, what we can do is ctrl.enabled equals true. So we're going to enable it when we start the script. So now, and I'll move that bullet in just a second, just to show you. When we run this now, the bullet just stays where it is. So if we go back to our scene, our left tank bullet, we're going to drag and drop that. If I can pick it up, we're going to drag and drop that out of the scene and just plonk it down here, just so that it's not visible. So now when we do this here, we get nothing. Why are we getting nothing? What's happening? Well, oh, that's why. Because it's not the position there, it's actually world. Oops. World position. That should be the position. The world space position of the transform. Bullet spawn point. Why is that? Okay, now I'm confused. What? There's the bullet spawn point there, which is at that position. I set that right? Let me attach this just now. Okay, transform -500. That sounds about right. Oh, but what's the local position? Oh, wait. What's local? Transform. Local position is that. Okay, so if I do. I've had problems with this before and I don't know why this does this. So I've seen this before, and this is one of these foibles of Unity. It never. Yeah, see, that's now going to be. So that is. So okay, if I bring this to here, and then I press fire, you see that it's just doing it off of 0, 0 from here. Off of where the sprite is, and the reason why is because this bit never works for me. I don't know why. But it never works. I think maybe it's something to do with the next frame or something. If you get answers, please comment below. But yeah, this thing never works. So I'm gonna change this just for now. So bullet dot transform equals spawn dot transform dot position, and see if that fixes the issue. Oh yeah, transform position. Okay, and then let's see if that works. So it's doing. No, I don't want to turn on sticky keys. So this is -500 from where this position is, but not where I want it to be. Okay, so bullet spawn is there, which is 500, but it's parenting to the wrong thing. Bullet prefab, is the bullet prefab the wrong thing? No, it's not the wrong thing. That's the simple one there. Why does Unity do this to me? Without fail, it's like the simplest thing. I just want to spawn it at this point. Okay, and then it never spawns. And then I spend ages debugging it. All right. Okay, what am I doing wrong here? So if I do bullet.transform.local position equals 3.0. So I set that to 0. And then I set the world position to be here. Is this now going to work properly? And if so, why doesn't it work just when I set the position? No. Oh, that's infuriating. Transform. Bullet spawn point. Okay. So if I instantiate it at that, and I set the local position to that, and then I say bullet dot transform dot parent equals null. Is that going to work? Oh dear. Where's the... Okay, bullet spawn point. Bullet spawn is there. Okay. Is that one. You can see it flashing like that. Okay. So it's definitely going to this bullet spawn, which is this point up here. Local position 0, and then I set the parent to be null. What if I just set it to be just that? So this is me telling it exactly where it's going to go. All right. So if I fire this, okay, that kind of makes sense. See that there? That kind of makes sense. Because it's parented to it, but the spawn point really doesn't make any sense. Like, I don't understand what... I don't understand why the local spawn point is so far away. Like, local tank bullet. Oh, that'll be why. Never mind. Okay, that makes sense. All right. So if I take the left tank bullet here and then I just move it -6, -1,000. Okay. Okay. Right. Ignore me. Let's just undo everything that I've just done there. Well, that's okay. Unity. So the issue was that when I dragged this sprite here, it dragged this and not the parent. So I'd selected the parent, but when I clicked on that, it didn't work, and then I clicked on that again, and then it selected the wrong thing, and I didn't notice it. So there's a lesson for you. Make sure you know what you're clicking. All right, so when I instantiate this here, bullet, the low transform, where's the transform position? -500, okay. Right, okay, so that's good, okay. So it's coming out the right tank. So when I fire, I can't catch up with it. It needs to fire faster. Okay, well that's a simple fix. Let's expose this. So we're going to do public float speed, or in units per second equals 600. Let's have it as 600 because that'll be quite fast, and you'll get quite a good spread, I think. So we'll make that 600, and we can bring this scene in here, put the game there, fire, and okay. All right. Okay. So now I'm going to do the exact same thing with the blue one. Now both the blue tank, there you go, there's the blue tank there, and the green tank now fire their weapons. So that's good. And now I think what we'll do is we'll break there, and the next video we'll do the collision detection. Thank you so much for watching this video. This is the Boot Hill series that I'm working on. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment and share on social media. It really does help the channel. And if you didn't like it, please tell me. Let me know in the comments below what I can do better, what videos you want to see. If you'd like reminders of when I post up a new video, click that subscribe button, which is just down below there, and tap the notification bell, and YouTube will let you know when I post a new video, which is mostly every Thursday. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye bye.